a movement to amend the Constitution of the Philippines because of, among other things, economic provisions in the 1987 Constitution that some people want to liberalize or loosen up. For example, foreign equity percentages, the 60-40 land ownership is restricted in the Philippines. So those are major issues that some people in Congress or proponents for charter change want to put forward. What I want to ask you is this: as far as in your dealings with the U.S. businessmen and investors, how do they see these elements? Are these key elements in making decisions on whether or not to invest in the Philippines? For example, equity considerations and land ownership.
Well, this is what I'll say. In my conversations with business leaders in our own economy, when we talk about trade and the opportunities to invest outside of the United States, what I hear consistently is a desire for predictability and transparency in the jurisdictions that they are considering for investment. So that goes to transparency in regulatory processes, that goes to fundamental aspects of the jurisdiction like rule of law, predictability, knowing that there is recourse when things go wrong. But as well, increasingly in my conversations with our business leaders, they also are savvy in reading the global economy. They also are coming through a period of unpredictability and disruption. They're looking for the risk proposition that is involved in their investments. And on this, I would also say that there's a good synergy between what investors are looking for and what we are trying to do in terms of our trade engagements, including in the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, where we are looking for opportunities to drive that race to the top, to be concerned about the environmental and climate risks that are involved in investments, as well as whether or not business is driving the opportunity for standards to be raised. That is what we are looking for as we are coming through this period of economic disruption. I think it is consistent between governments and business that we want to see more sustainable economic activity. And that sustainability with respect to the planet, but also sustainability with respect to the people who are involved in the production and the provision of goods and services.
That's interesting because that ties in with the 2021 National Trade and Estimate Report issued by your office, about at least about the Philippines. It noted among the limitations pervasive long-standing problems with customs, the courts, regulators who stray beyond the legal into policy making. So it also is an issue, as well, the issue of transparency and corruption.
So these are all elements that are scoped into the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework that we are working on with 13 other countries, including the Philippines. And I have to tell you, I'm so delighted that we have the Philippines actively engaging in these negotiations, precisely because if you look at the structure of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, it is about 14 countries coming together, working together to promote more resilience, more sustainability, and more inclusiveness through our economic collaboration. And scoped within the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework are provisions on good governance, that's tax and anti-corruption, supply chains, but also in the trade pillar, transparency, the practices and procedures at customs to ensure the smooth movement of goods and the compatibility between our systems, as well as labor, environment, and digital components. So it is, from the United States, our program of engagement for the 21st century to allow us to work with some of our closest partners in this region of the Indo-Pacific to produce economic outcomes that will be resilient, sustainable, and inclusive.